Now, in the second part of the third epistle of John, we see the very clear signs of the coming apostasy into that early Christian church. So verse 9, he says, I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. So there's a local leader in a congregation by the name of Diotrephes who is not allowing the apostles to come into that congregation and who is rejecting letters and words and teachings from the apostles. Why? Because he loveth to have the preeminence among them. So he receiveth us not. You can picture your local bishop or stake president or branch president saying, hey, we got word that one or two of the apostles is going to likely be coming to our branch or our ward or our stake this Sunday. We need the elders quorum to bar the parking lot and make sure that he can't get in and make sure we bar the doors. We can't have him or them coming in because they're going to lead you astray. That's what's happening. And here's John, the apostle, saying we're being shut out from the saints by these local leaders. And that's how the apostasy takes place, is not from external pressure. Because we saw all kinds of external pressure from multiple emperors and Caesars in Rome who were trying to just abuse and torment and torture these Christians to try to get rid of it, and it just seemed to make the church grow stronger. The real apostasy got underway because of internal false doctrines, false teachers, false Christs, people who from within are leading people astray. Hence the need to stay connected with the Lord through his prophets and through the proper channel of those keys of the priesthood and those revelatory lines that the Lord himself set up. These are not man-made. They're set up by the Lord.
This still happens today. I don't think we see people closing church doors, but you may have people in positions of influence who just ignore the words that the prophets have to offer, or set up ways that their own personal message gets out while not actually forefronting the words of God's chosen leaders, which ultimately is God himself. So this happens today, and we just have to be careful and thoughtful. We are in a world full of information. It's always important to understand, where are we getting our information from? Is it true? Is it relevant? And is it coming from sources that God himself would approve of?
That's a really good reminder, Taylor, is that was an issue. Diotrephes and what he's doing is an issue in the first century for a congregation of saints. But what you're saying here is we need to remember that you and I, if we're not careful, can be a Diotrephes to ourselves and to people around us, where maybe we don't even recognize it at times, where we choose not to let the Lord's chosen witnesses, his appointed servants, have influence in our lives because we tune our ears to other people in the world. So this story of Diotrephes is not a 2,000-year-old only experience. It is alive and well today, unfortunately, at big as well as very localized levels, if we're not careful. So the invitation that John would then probably be giving us today would be summarized here in verse 10. Wherefore, if I come, I remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church. So it's that invitation to say, don't be a Diotrephes for yourself, but also be careful that you don't shut the door on the prophet's teachings from your loved ones and from the people that you have a stewardship over as a shepherd in whatever calling you may have been given.